Welcome back. Today I'll be teaching you how to factor quadratics. We have 3 examples right here. So let's start off with the first example, x squared plus 9x plus 20 equals 0. Your first step is to check the x squared. And in this case, there's no number in front of the x squared, there's just an imaginary one. And now I'll show you the AC method, which in my opinion is the best method. You look at the last number without any x's, and in this case it's 20. Now think of 2 numbers that add up to 9 and multiply to 20. Those numbers can be 1 times 20. That equals 20. But when you add that up, it doesn't add up to 9. So what you just have to kind of think around for a while. And your numbers right here in this case would be 5 and 4. Because 5 and 4, when they multiply together, it equals 20. And when they add together, it equals 9. And in this case, what you do right here, you write x plus 5 and x plus 4. Now you have this factored out, but you still aren't finished. You have to find out what the actual x values are. Now think about it. X plus 5 has to equal 0. Anything, 0 times anything equals 0. So how do you get this to 0? You have to x plus 5 equals 0. X minus 5 on both sides. X equals negative 5. That's your first answer. Same thing for here. Write it out as x plus 4 equals 0 minus 4 minus 4. X equals negative 4. And here are your 2 answers. For the second example, there's a 2 in front of the x squared. And in this case, you can't just simply do this way in the first question. What you want to do first is you have to take the number from the x squared, times it by the number on the very last without the x squared. So what you do is 2 times 3 equals 6. And in this case, you would have to do the 2 numbers that multiply to 6 and add up to 7. And in that case, which would it be? 6 and 1. But in this case, you wouldn't write it out as like in this case. You have to go like 2x squared, replace the 7x with 6 and 1 plus 6. But you have to write x at the end plus 6x plus 1x plus 3 equal. And then you don't have to, and then next step, split up the 2 terms like this and find out the greatest common multiple in both of these terms. So look at this first step, 2x squared plus 6x. What can be taken out of both? You can take out a 2 and you can take out an x. What would that be left with? X plus 3. And then right here, what could you take out? You could just, honestly, you can't really take out anything except for a plus 1. And then it'll be x plus 3. How do you know if you're correct? If the 2 numbers inside the brackets are equal to each other, see, look at how it's x plus 3, that's correct. That's your first value, x plus 3. Your second value is you combine these 2 that are in the bracket, so it's 2x and there's plus 1. You were right in brackets, 2x plus 1. But you're still not done. You have to find out the actual x value. So what you do? X plus 3 equals 0. 2x plus 1 equals 0. And then from here, it's just basic math. X plus 3 equals 0, minus 3, minus 3. X equals negative 3. 2x plus 1, 2x plus 1 equals 0, minus 1, divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals negative 1 over 2. And that's your answer. Now for the very last question, it's 3x squared plus 10x plus 3. Identify there's a 3 in front of the x squared. Times the 3 by the 3 without the x. So it'll be 3 times 3 equals 9. Find 2 numbers that add up to 10 and multiply to 9. And what would that be? 9 and 1. and then you have to replace the middle thing with 9 and 1, so you have to go 3x squared plus 9x plus 1x plus 3. Split up in the middle, have these two combined and have these two combined. Take out the greatest common factor of this one. What would that be? You would take out a 3 and an x, so it would be x plus 3. How would you take out this one? It would just be a 1, because you can't really plus 1, x plus 3. See, noticing in this case, both of the brackets are the same. That's how you know you have the correct answer. So x plus 3. Group these two that aren't in the brackets together into one single bracket. So 3x plus 1 equals 0. And then do your basic math. X plus 3 equals 0, minus 3, minus 3. X equals negative 3. 3x plus 1 equals 0, minus 1, minus 1. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X equals negative 1 over 3. Those are your answers. Thank you.